News. Let's see. Last weekend, we didn't get to do a mailbag, and I got called away just as I was starting to talk to you all. Oh, that's right. And one of the things I was starting to talk to you about is that we were going to tell you the dates for our spays and neuters. So, yeah, we're ringworm free finally, which is great. And it looks like the boys, including you, little buddy, are going to go get their spays and neuters on the 22nd. That's this next Thursday? This coming Thursday. So that's this Thursday. These guys are going to get their neuters, and then after that, it'll be a little bit easier around here, even though the girls will still be going into heat. And you may see some behavior as a result of that. We won't have any risk of anybody, getting pregnant, which is what we would like to avoid. Then it's going to be a little while before we get the girls in. June 10th and 12th is when we have them scheduled. So June 10th and 12th, that'll be the deal. Looking forward to all of that. But, it's great that we can finally do it. I think it's about time to try to get these kids adopted and see people get some applications in. I know they seem a little bit bigger than some of the kittens that we have adopted, but I assure you they are still kitten-sized. I know it's hard to tell because of the way that we keep all these cameras. They're smaller than you might think. Most of them are anyway. I'll tell you, Poncho is huge. He's a giant cat. He's just a big guy, but he's also very cute and friendly and playful, and they're all wonderful fun. So it's more about the personality, I think, anyway. And they've all got good personalities, They are a little bit more shy than a lot of kittens that we've had. Not every kitten. We've had a number of shy ones before too. These guys are definitely on the extreme end of the shy curve in general. I would say that Tutu is an exception, although Tutu doesn't like other cats very much. She growls at everybody, and then of course little buddy here, Blazer, is not shy at all. But the rest of them are all pretty shy. And I was noticing as I was chasing around, I've said that especially Jumper and Smock are the toughest, but all of them sort of require being chased around before I can pick them up or put them into a room or something if I want to put them away. None of them are just like, oh, we're going to stand there and let me pick them up. They all run away, like Eddie. I realized it's more than just Eddie, though, as this morning I was trying to get Maggie to go out of a room, and she also does that to me, and I never really think about it, but Maggie almost never just lets me pick her up. She sees me, and she sees me coming towards her, and she's got to run away, even if I try to act like I'm not going to pick her up. So I guess that's more of a common thing than I really give it credit for being. But that doesn't mean they're not snuggly. They all are. They love to sit on my lap. Even little Smock, who is the most shy of all. If I'm sitting down playing video games or hanging out in bed, she'll just come and snuggle up right on my lap. She loves it. So good kittens all around. I hope we get some good adopters for them. It would be real nice to see them all adopted before we move. That way we don't have to worry about giving them to another foster temporarily, which I would hate to do, but I'd do it if we had to. Speaking of, it's not right now, it's not looking so great on the house that we wanted. We got a second appraisal done because our problem was that the appraisal came in so low that it's just the bank basically won't finance us to buy the house at the price that we wanted because they're like, it's not worth that much. So we went through a lot of trouble to get a second bank and sort of get them to rush doing an appraisal of their own. Over the last week, we basically signed up with that bank on Monday and paid them to do the appraisal, and they had it done by yesterday, which is amazing speed. They really did put a rush on it for us, and I appreciate that. We also tried our best to stack the deck. I know our agent did. I know the seller's agent even contacted the bank and tried to sort of get them to give the appraisal the value that they thought that it was worth. And the bank did their best job of the appraisal, and it came in even lower, lots lower, like $100,000 lower than the first appraisal, which is a lot. And it has us basically thinking, well, it seems like if we've done it twice, we've got a pretty good sample. It doesn't seem like any bank is likely to appraise it at the amount that it is trying to sell for. Therefore, it doesn't seem like we're probably going to be able to get it. Now, technically, though, when we did sign the contract and the seller signed the contract with us, it does say that, you know, we offer to pay a certain amount above the bank appraisal. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm still willing to pay that amount above the bank appraisal. Either one, he could pick the low one if he wanted, would pay above that. But you know, assuming that he wanted the higher appraisal and to pay the amount that we said that we would, I still would like to honor, you know, my part of the contract. So if he feels the same way, you know, that he signed it and that's what he signed up for and that it's a good deal, which I think honestly it is a very good deal. Considering the two banks, he's not going to get anybody else to pay him as much as we're willing to. But it is a lot less than what I think he wanted. So, you know, either he sort of sees it as his obligation because he signed it, or he sees it as the right thing to do because he's just not going to be able to do better. You know, there's still a chance that he's going to say, all right, let's keep going. But the alternative is that he could say, nope, you know, that's not the full price, so I'm just going to back out, which I think he's okay to do if that's his move. I feel like that's really being extra hopeful though, because I can't imagine that anybody's going to give him the kind of deal that I'm still willing to give him. You know, this certain amount over what the highest bank appraisal would be is a very generous amount too. You know, not to bring numbers into it, but I think we're giving him a good deal. So I don't know. At this point, our agent still has to even take that to him and say, look, this is where we're at. You know, we're willing to do exactly what we said at the beginning, but we can understand if that's not something you're going to do. So, you know, we'll find out. It's just sad. It's a little sad. It's disappointing, I guess, because we really did love that place. But, you know, we've also got to say, look, we've got to be realistic. You know, we're offering to pay, I think, with a very fair amount. And if it's not good for him, it's not good for us to go higher than that. It's not even probably good for us to go as high as we are. But, you know, we did promise to that. So there we are. Okay, enough about the house. We'll find out how all that goes and we'll let you know when we know. We're just hanging, still waiting. Fortunately, these kids, oh man, do you remember when they came in, they had that URI that would not quit. They were all like, their eyes were all gunky and they were sneezing and it just couldn't get it to end. Which I haven't thought about it in a while because it finally did end, and that's great. And then after that, we went through the ringworm for 3 months of ringworm, you know. But they were over that too, and they're all just a bunch of healthy, wonderful kittens now. So it's that came out as a good ending too. The journey wasn't even that sad, but it worked out. So there we have it. Okay, Tutu is so crazy about chasing the toys when we play. And she normally will make a big growl if she catches a toy and anybody else is nearby. She wants them to stay away. I'm surprised she's not doing that yet for these guys. She must be feeling pretty good today. She normally is a big growler at the other cats. Cloak also loves to play. She's not here. I don't know where she went. I think she went to the bedroom probably. She likes to go hang out in the bedroom with us. Hi, Tutu. Look at you. You fit right in that box, don't you? That's too cute. Cloak likes to go in the bedroom and hang out. She also just likes to follow me around quite a bit. I thought she would come back in here and hang out for Mailbag, but I guess I'm being too noisy for her. She is still very difficult to, I guess, touch. You can do it if you give her treats, if you like throw down a bunch of crunchies on the floor and then you start petting her, she'll put up with it. She'll let you pet her. I've never had a case where she really will let me pick her up, although you might remember that when I was making an effort in the beanbag chair in her room, I did get her to come up on my lap a couple times, and I think that with a real concerted effort, probably her adopter could get her to be a lap cat eventually, if they were, you know, slow, patient, gentle. But I think in general, what I was saying is that she loves to play. She really does love to play and chase toys. But lately, what she's been doing is taking a back seat to her kittens. If her kittens are there, she'll let them play and she'll just sit and watch. She doesn't want to try to get in there and sort of fight them for toys. She'll just let them have them, which is cute. That's a good mom thing to do. It's also a very good way to be social as a cat. I think you'll notice cats that socialize well with each other are always that way, where if one of them is on a toy, the other ones all sort of sit back and wait their turn or wait for the thing to come their direction. They're very good at sort of sharing their prey drive that way in general. Now, there's some cats that aren't like that at all. Tutu, for example, hasn't quite got that lesson. She'll jump right in and push everybody else out of the way and try to grab a toy and then growl and growl and growl to keep it to herself. But that's also a common thing, and it's fun. So, all right. DJ and I still haven't actually started packing yet. We keep sort of putting it off until we know when we're gonna move, I guess, or you know, until we know. It seems like at every turn I've been like, all right, it's time to start packing as soon as we get this next thing, and then the next thing comes back and it's not what we wanted, and we have to be like, okay, now we're gonna wait another week. But I think this is basically the end of the road as far as that one property goes, and it's either gonna work out and it'll be done, we'll know this week, or it's not, and we'll know this week. Which would be, like I said, it'd be disappointing. But again, the nice thing is that you know, even though DJ has a particular date that she has to be in Pennsylvania, we don't really have any particular date when we have to be moved. You know, if we move ahead of time, then she can just stay here on the, she told me that she would just stay here on that fold-up mattress that we use sometimes when mom cats are pregnant, and she'll just hang out and wait until the last day and then put her stuff in the car and drive down. Or if it goes the other way and it ends up taking us too long to find a place, then she can always just rent an Airbnb down there like she did when she was a resident and had to go visit and do residency, not resident, I think it was her last year of med school when she did, what did they call them, internships or whatever. She went to several different hospitals across the country, did several different things in her last year of med school, and each time she rented an Airbnb for, you know, a couple of weeks or even a month, and it worked out fine. So we can always do that again. So my point being that, you know, as much as we'd like to get this over with, if we don't find anything else that we like as much as that place, we can wait, you know, we'll wait until we do find something that we like that much. I think it was at least educational for us, because before that we were looking at houses and going, oh gosh, I don't know, it's really nice, but do we like it enough to do it, or is it going to work for us? And then when we saw this house, we were both like, that's it, that is the house, we know it is. And it's good to recognize that. So now as we continue to look, we don't have to really ask as much. If we have that feeling of, I don't know if this is the one, then it's not the one. You know, we'll know the next time that one comes up where we have that feeling, we'll be like, all right, you know, and we'll just wait for that to happen. I don't think that house was, it's very fun, it's nice, it's got a lot going for it. You know, we loved it. It was the one, but the one is just it's shorthand. It does not literally the one. There's plenty of other houses that are just that good out there, and we just got to wait until one comes up for us. You know, or maybe we've got to wait. I don't even know that we have to wait. I'm hoping that we don't. I'm hoping that the seller sort of sees things the way that we do and recognizes that, and that we're done. That would be nice, wouldn't it? In fact, I was just thinking this morning about rolling these beanbags out in the garage and putting them up on like next door, one of those things where our neighbors could come over and take the beanbag chairs, because those aren't going to make the move either. I don't think, I do okay in them. It's not like they're bad for my back especially, but I just don't think they're the thing for us anymore. We did them for 10 years. That's enough, you know? Plenty of stuff like that, actually, where you know, it's stuff that it still works out just fine, but we've had it for long enough that we're done with it. It's time to open a new chapter and have different things. The big wooden cat trees, I think, are a prime example of that. We had someone that was a previous adopter that was interested in taking them and that just wanted to get the measurements and stuff and find out if they would fit. So that's still pending for us to do, but I've sort of been waiting. It hasn't seemed like a priority because, you know, I don't even know when we're moving yet. So it will come up at some point, though. All right, that was enough rambling. Thank you guys so much for listening to me. I really appreciate it. It's great for me to get a chance to chat with all of you, and I'm sorry that last week didn't work out so well, and it's you know, this whole process has taken up a lot of time, and I apologize for that. But I really do appreciate our time together, and you know, it's great. It's good for me. So thank you.